Yes, I can see it.
All right, let's start the class. Good evening, everybody. So we'll be starting with Python for data science, introduction to libraries and frameworks. First off, let's just go through the theory part before we start doing live examples. So, what are libraries? A Python library is a collection of related modules. It contains bundles of code that can be used repeatedly in different programs. It makes Python programming simpler and convenient for the programmer. Python libraries are like they they help us their functions and like collections of codes, collection of variable, all these variables in all these functions, variables in code in Python that makes Python programming easier. So we can use them for machine learning, data science, data visualization, and all sorts of things. But we'll be focusing on data science libraries. So the name is self-explanatory. So first off, we have NumPy. I don't. It stands for numerical Python. It's a popular machine learning library mainly used for working arrays. It also supports matrices and multidimensional data. So I'll be touching only the basics of NumPy today because it's used for a variety of things, plenty different things. So I'll just be touching arrays, using arrays on NumPy today. So we have pandas, that one is Python data analysis, open source machine learning library that provides flexible high data structures and variety of analysis tools. Then Matplotlib. Matplotlib, I think that means mathematical plot libraries. So that one is responsible for plotting numerical data. That's the one we'll be focusing on mainly today. So for the next class, that's when I'll explain pandas. That's if you can manage to finish everything on Matplotlib today. So let's start with NumPy. The reason I'm going to start with NumPy is because when we're doing Matplotlib, we're going to use the arrays that we created on NumPy using NumPy, to explain it and to we are going to use them during when we're plotting our diagrams and our making our visualizations. So how to get started? Let's get started. To get started, you import NumPy by running import NumPy as np. So that np is an abbreviation. So anytime, so you don't have to write numpy every time you want to call numpy. So from now, you can let me try to zoom in. You can see in this example code they import numpy as np. So when I want to call np in the second line, it's just np I'll call. I won't have to write numpy. So when you say import numpy as np, then when you want to create an array using numpy, just use this function np dot array function. So let's just do an example of this. Let me share some lecture. So now we are on Jupyter. Let's create a new notebook. So like I said on that in the slides, you have to import numpy. Sorry, that's numpy. Please, if at any point during this meet you cannot hear what I'm saying, please call my attention, or you cannot see clearly an example I'm trying to show. Thank you. So now let's say array. So I've run the code now to print array 1. And the thing about numpy is you can convert, you can input any in this bracket here. You can input tuples, you can input list or any other array like object, and to be converted to an array. Let's input a tuple. I think it must have been taught that for a tuple to take bracket the parentheses, then for list is that normal bracket, then all those you were taught that, I think. So now let's print type. So this print type array 1 is to show the type of values or that is inside array 1. Give in mind it is a tuple here, but after I've added this np.array function to be converted to an array. So let's confirm numpy.ndarray. So this dot ndarray that is here, this is how numpy um this is what you call an array in numpy. The array object in numpy is called ndarray.
Sorry, please, am I the only one that cannot see your screen? Like, what is here is just the Jupyter when you were trying to open one of
I
the.
just I just sent my comment on the
Oh,
message box so that it's just the digital notebook we can see. We can't see the codes.
let me what about now?
We can see it now.
I
Yes.
think that was my mistake. I apologize for that. Let me start again. So from the slides that I showed before as np enter, then if you want to print any array. So what I just typed now, when I imported numpy as np, so when I want to call np to create this array to be np dot array, so that's numpy dot array, then I'll put in my list or my tuple or any other type of data that is array like. So then print array one. That's what this first result here is. Then print type array one. That's what this is, class numpy dot nd array. So in numpy, when you want to represent an array, it is represented as nd array. Let's go back to the slide. Can you see the slide?
Yes.
Okay. So now matplotlib. This is a basic graph plotting library in Python that serves as a visualization library. It's created by John Day Hunter and it is also open source. So if you want to implement matplotlib as well, you have to use the import statement also. In the slide here, you can see I wrote import matplotlib. This second line here, it was to ensure that I have it installed. But usually when you install the whole Python package, matplotlib, numpy, pandas, and most of all those other libraries that are installed with it. But just in case, if it's not, you have to download it. But just in case, that's why I confirmed with this. So I wrote print the version of the matplotlib. That's when I got this. Another thing about matplotlib is the pyplot. So pyplot is a sub library under matplotlib. Most of the utilities, um most of the modules and the stores that are stored in matplotlib, you are going to have to use pyplot to be able to do them, to be able to use them. So this as well, you have to import matplotlib dot pyplot. This dot pyplot is how you implement the pyplot subplot as plt. The plt here is the abbreviation for pyplot. So that's to show that that's what we're using. Now plotting on matplotlib, plotting x and y points. We use the plot function. Plot and the two parentheses function is used to draw points or markers in the diagram. So let's in order to plot a line from 3,4 to x, 10. So this is in maths 3,4 here. This first 3,4. This is 3 is under the Cartesian plane is on the x axis and the 4 here is on the y axis to 8, 10. The 8 here is on the x axis and the 10 here is on the y axis. So for us to plot this on matplotlib, we'll have to pass two arrays. That's the reason why I taught you NP array in the first place. So this array 3, 8. This first array is for the values on the x axis alone, 3, 8, and then the 4, 10 is for the values on the y axis, 4, 10. We can use so this is why I said we can use numpy to generate the arrays. Let me do an example of the plot. Let me show you how to look like. First, So when I run this, let me just I run this. I won't have to rewrite import blah 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 import all over again. So now let's start with the plotting. So let's put 5, 2, and for the this is let's do let's just try for 2 first so that you don't get confused at first. We can do multiple values. So let's just do for 2 first. Then on the y point equals to a dot array. So for this first x point is 5 comma 12. If you were to write this in mathematics, this would be 5 comma 4. This would be from point 5 comma 4 to point 12 comma 5. Then for to plot it, plt dot plot, open bracket. So in the syntax for plt plot, the first value here is always going to be the x axis, and the second value is always going to be the y axis. So now show plt dot show. Without this plt dot show, it won't run the result, so you won't see the plotting, you won't see the graph. Shift enter, line 3. Okay, there's a mistake here. I put points instead of point. Let me scroll down. Can you all see the graph now? This graph, this straight line graph that is here.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So you can see here that this is the x axis and this is the y axis. So now let's show the you can show the markers or pointers. This is just a line. We don't know where the which one is representing which one. So the point at which they are these two this line is joined. So put comma. So with this O here, it will just show only the markers, only the points that they joined. It will not show the line. So can we all see this? Can we all see this now? It's only the dot, the 2 points. This is 12 to 5, 5, 12, and 4 and 5 here. You can all see this, yes. Can we all see this?
Yes, I can see it. But what did you do?
Can you see where I'm at now?
Yes.
So this, if you want to see only the points, because this is a graph, to join, and this I plotted a line to join 2 points. So if you want to see the point alone, only the point without that line that is joining the point, you just press comma and this argument here, put it to quotation mark 0 o, small letter o.
Okay.
Then you run that to show you this. Do you get that?
Oh, yes. Thank
So
you.
That brings
Sir,
this. Yes.
please, the x point the x point equals to np dot array 5 comma 12.
Yes.
Now, are we saying that this 5, though it is on the x point, the 5 is the x axis and the 12 is the y axis,
No,
then the
no,
4 is the y point? Is that what it means?
no, no, no. Let me
Okay,
just.
please
So what?
explain.
Let me explain. So let me put a comment here. Let me put a comment here. So the x-axis, the if we were going to, well, if we got this question in a maths textbook or whatever, it would be point, comma, 5, I be bracket 5, comma, 4, and 12, comma, 5. So this in this one up here, the bracket, the one that is in a parenthesis, not a square bracket. This is how they write it in maths. So in maths here, this 5 is x-axis and this 4 is y-axis. Here the 12 x-axis and 5 in y-axis. But when you want to put it in an NP array to plot, you have to put the x-axis point on the same array. I have to put the y-axis point on the same array. So any point that is from the y-axis, I'm going to put it in the same array. So when we're creating the array, that's when we put 5, comma 12 in x points. So this x point means the points on the x-axis. This y point means the point on the y-axis. Do you get that? Do you understand now?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you. So the reason I'm from this whole argument here, that brings us to markers, matplotlib markers. You can specify the type of marker you want by using the marker argument. So let me zoom in. Import. So I've done all this, done this. Then, well, in the plt dot plot function, when we put x points then y points, we made one more argument here, marker. Then we put equals to, that's the asterisk sign. So this marker equals to asterisk sign is going to change the those two dots. It's going to change it to this asterisk. Yeah. So down there you can choose any of the following markers. So O is for circle, comma is for pixel, plus is for the plus, star is for star, X is for X, and X, capital letter X is for a filled X mark, then diamond. So let me just let me do a few examples. Let's go back here. Can you see this tab? Can you see what I'm typing here?
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm,
okay.
yes.
So quotation mark. Let's try the asterisks first. When you run it, can you see here? It's like a little star. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
So let's try another example. Let's see the small x. So you see the difference. So the small x is just a thin line x, and then when you put capital letter X, the X point becomes very thick. So if I want to put a circle, but you want to maintain the line. So if I put that small a lowercase o, it will take away the line and show only the markers. But if I want to put a circular marker here, I'll make it capital letter O. then run. See this here. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Should we try one more example? The diamond, D, capital D.
Yes.
Okay, so this is it looks like a square here, but is a what do you call it? Is it rhombus? That shape. That's what they used to represent it. Then small d is this. This one is more. It shows more diamond shape a little bit more. Let's
The
go.
small d.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry, I have a question. Why is it that the small letter O takes away the line?
it's the way the syntax is. So if you want to show only the marker, now I think then you have to remove the marker. If you remove, sorry, if you remove the marker arguments, and maybe you just want to show the line only the points. Sorry, I keep saying line. Only the points, and you remove the marker, and then you put the O, small o, to change to remove the line and show you only the points, so that you can see the points that are joining that made up that line. That's just the reason it was put there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so math. So you can specify the marker using a short called string notation. So if you want to change the color or the type of the um line, that line that you saw a straight line, you can have a dotted line. You can I think there's a table. Look, there's this table here, line references. So if you have a straight two straight lines here, this line here, it is a solid line. If you have the colon symbol to give you a dotted line, and if you have two dashes like with a space to give you a dashed line, then if you have one dash and a period full stop next to it to give you a dash dot line. And color references: red, R for red, green for G for green, B for blue, C for cyan, M for magenta, Y for yellow, K for black. Let's go back here. So this shorthand that I wrote here, I wrote D, then the next I wrote a column, and then I wrote B. So that first D, you show the marker type. That's for diamond here. Table, the table up here, not table. This little explanation here. D shows diamond. Then the colon for dotted line, and then B, which shows the color. So this is the syntax: first marker type, then the line type, and then the color. So let's do an example. Check this out. So this is already we already have a D. Let's do this one will give us a dotted line, and then color. Let's make it K, which is black. Create new passive vertices and close. I'm making a mistake somewhere. I just can't see it. Let me go back to this. Okay, sorry. I'm not supposed when I want to when I want to use the shorthand, this argument marker. it won't be there. So that's what is causing that mistake. So you can see, can you see this now?
Yes.
Yes, so this is a diamond with a dotted and broken line. So, and this color is black. K is shortened for black. This slash and period for this line, and D is for diamond, the shape of the marker. Let's do another example. So let's try asterisk dot and B for blue. I think just yellow. Then we run this. Can we see this now? So do you get this? Do you get this?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So matplotlib, you can change the marker size. That marker, what I told you, those two dots or the diamonds, you can change the size. I'll do that. And you can also change the marker color using keyword MEC and MFC. So MEC is to change the marker edge color. That's MEC. That's the abbreviation. And change the in what is inside. So we call it the face of the marker. So MFC to set the color of the face of the marker. So you can specify the color using color references, like the color references that we have, the both for B for blue, K for black, W for white, Y for yellow. There's something called X codes, hexadecimal codes. It's used in coding to color RBG values, red, blue, I think green value is used in coding and accepted color names. So in Python, there's some accepted color names that we have that you can type out. For example, this hot pink that I wrote here is accepted. You can let me. I did a little table. I don't know. I didn't. Okay. After this class, please someone should remind me. I'll send you a table of accepted color names that you can type out. Let's just check something now. Let's first do the marker size. Marker size. So just do comma ms equals to, let's make it 20. You can see the star became bigger. So we increase the size. You see that? Do you understand that part?
Yeah.
Let's also try MEC, comma MEC equals to. So this is track back most recent call. So because we remember when we did this short, and the Y here is also showing the color. So let's remove this. Let me see. Name B is not specified. I don't. let me change the color of the face so you can see the difference, comma, MFC. Can you see the difference now? Because the color of the edge, the line, the outlining of the star is blue, and the color of the face, that's the inside the um face of the star, the content of the star is black. Do you understand that?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, let's go. Okay, you can also change the color of the line. You can use the argument color or C. So you can either type color, but because Python is an oh, I just got an I think that is okay, it's telling us 15 minutes left. Because Python was developed in America. So when you are typing the color argument, you don't type this one, is this one CLOR, no U. So let's check the color arguments. Let's do an example. Let's do color equals to I think M was magenta. You see the line? The line is now purple or magenta color.
Yeah.
So you can also change the comma the width, like how thick the line is, by using line width shorthand of that's LW equals to, let's just say 10. So the line becomes thicker. Let's go back in. Multiple lines. You can also plot multiple lines by simply adding more plt dot plot functions. So let's do another array, or let's plot each line. Let's plot y x point on one line and point on another line. Plt dot. So you can show this tab. So we type plt plot x point on one line, and on the next line you type plt dot plot y point on another line. So to give you this two different lines. By default, Python will set the colors, so blue and orange. This is 5. So the blue line 5. Let's check, let's give it a dot marker. So you can see this. This is the x-axis, the one for the x-axis, the one that was inside this x-axis array. So this is 5 and this is 12. And this one is 4 and 5. 4 year, 5 year. You can also do show this tab here. So look at this. You can also specify x and y values for multiple lines. Like you have x point one, x point two, then y point one, y point two. So when you now want to put it in the plt dot plot function, x point one and y point one will come after each other, then comma x point two will come after y point two, then do plt dot show. Let me do an example of that. So for this one, we use one plt plot function. So x point one comma y point one comma x point two comma y point two. I wrote nore np. Alright. So you can see the line here. This is for x point one and y point one. So x point one is 5 and 12 to 5 and 12 and 4 and 5. So this is okay. This blue one is for the first one, 5 and 12 here. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Let's go to the next. So matplot label. You can create the label. You can create labels for a plot. So in case you want to label the x-axis, you use plt dot x label, and if you want to label the y-axis, you use plt dot y label functions to set the labels of x and y axis. And then if you want to create titles for the whole plot, for the whole graph, for that graph, use plt dot title. Then inside the parentheses, you now put the title you want. Like here, inside the parentheses for the plt dot x label, you put the value or the name you want. So let's just do that before the time runs out. So yeah, you see, um, let's go back here. So let's do this. Let's- PLT before you plot it. Let's do PLT dot X label, open bracket, then PLT dot Y label. No, the name no. Oh, again I did NP. I'll be N O. So on the when I scroll down to the graph, you see on the y-axis velocity and on the x-axis time. So let's put one more PLT. Let's put one more label, PLT dot title. So when we run this on the before the first thing you see here, you put it on the top of the graph. You can also set the location, like where you want to put the title. You use the argument LOC. So sorry, first put before you when you want anytime you want to put the new argument inside any function, you have to put comma, if not it will give you an error message. So you put LOC equals to, let's say, left. Move the velocity time graph, the title, move it to the left. If you put it in the right, it will move it to the right. Move it to the right, and you can also put it center. That's where it was before. Let me see how many minutes we have left. 4 minutes. So we have 4 minutes left. So I'll stop here. But do you understand this everything I've said so far?
Yes, but just a quick one.
Okay.
You said to change that graph line color, are we to just call C equals to maybe R or something?
Yeah. Yes. That's the line color.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can write color equals to, that's let me try and do it here.
COLOR.
COLOR, not COLOUR. Let's try comma COLOR equals to, let's say, R. So to change PLT plot for this X point only to red, R is red. Do you get?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So will join in the next.
Please, sir,
Oof. Yes.
can you please use the remaining 3 minutes to explain the please scroll up that's the points again. I'm trying to, you know,
Okay.
trying to
How?
understand it, but I think
Okay.
yes,
This the
the
X
X
axis and
plot
Y
one
axis.
point. Yes, you can just explain one more time. I will appreciate it. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. So in maths, when they give us when they want to give us points to plot a graph from, they'll tell you point, like this, how to write the question. Draw a graph showing draw a line graph of point 5 comma 4 and 12 comma 5. But in maths, in Cartesian plane, inside this small, inside this bracket, inside this parent, can you see my cursor?
Yes.
Okay, so you can see what I'm pointing at. So inside this parenthesis here, 5 and 4. In maths, this means 5 in the x-axis, comma 4 in the y-axis. But when we're doing an array, you can't put values in different axes. in the same array to give you a different line. It will not be the same thing because for example 5 comma 4 and 12 comma 5. Let's remove this y x point 2 and y point 2 and just plot this. It's still giving, okay, let me remove this. So it's giving this only. If I change this value to this first array to 5 comma 4, it's going to give us a completely different one. I change this one to 4 comma, no, sorry, 5 comma 4 here, then 12 comma 5. It's going to give us a completely different, because this one is now facing 5 comma 12. It's different, it's not the same as when it was before, because I think you'll see it better if I add, let's say, let's do three values here. So let's make the line comma, let's do another. So according to what I explained, 5 is the x-axis, 12 x-axis, and 3 x-axis. So let's put that here, 12 comma 3, and the y-axis points are 4 comma this let's change this number so we don't confuse ourselves with the 5. Let's change it to 7. 4 comma 7 comma 5. Another, why did I put another 5 here? Let's change this one to 10. 10. I think I've made a mistake somewhere. Sorry. The colors. Oh, the colors ended. So did you? I was explaining why we should this. Yes, I mean, so because basically the summary of what I've been saying, because I think the call cut off while I was still explaining something.
Yes, sir.
Mm. So like, yeah, do you see? Did you get when I put these three values here? Comma x1. Can you see this?
Yes.
So you see this value. Let me show the markers. So you can see the marker. This is 1, 2, 3 here. Because of the way the numbers are, that's why it's forming sort of a zigzag line. So this is how it is supposed to be. But if I make a mistake and if I put 5 comma 4, like, yeah, now how are you going to put this 5 comma 4 in the same? You have to draw three arrays. That's not how it's supposed to be, because it's the way arrays interpret. You cannot write the same. You cannot write two different axes. So the value in two different axes on the same array. So this axis here This array here is for the values only for here. So any value I put here is going to assume that is on the same axis. So that's why you have to separate it. Do you get it now?
Yes, sir. But the values that we have at we have three. But on the graph, I can only see points, 3 points.
Hmm?
How can you please explain? Sorry that I'm taking us
No,
back, but I want to get it properly.
we have these 3 points here, 5
Okay.
comma 4, 12 comma 7, and 3 comma 10. So you get that you have 3 points.
Okay, sir. I get it now.
So okay, okay. I was trying to explain that each of them, each of these 3 points has an x value and a y value. So the x value of each of these 3 points, we put it in one array, and the y value of these 3 points, put it in another array. Then when you run that, that's why you have only 3 points. That's why we have three values in each array, but you have only 3 points. So let's go.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can set font properties for the titles and the label. Font properties, so the maybe the type of font you want, or the color of the font, or the size of the font. So like it is here, let me try and zoom in too much. Okay, so you create this list. No, this is a dictionary. Yeah, I think so. You have family, open bracket, serif. So that's the value for family, serif. So this family means font family. What type of fonts? We have different font families. We have comic. We have sans. We have serif. We have Arial. If you like, when you are writing on Microsoft Word or whatever, when you click on fonts, you see the different types of fonts. So that's for the family. Then color, you can set it to. These are the one of some of the accepted color names. Some of them that you can type that you don't have to use the code B or D or whatever for. And the size, so those numbers. So why I did this like this, font one, then font two. The reason we have two fonts is so that you can differentiate the title in terms of the size. So when we want to put the title to be a bigger font, the label names of the label will be smaller. So let's do an example. Share this tab. X equals to np dot. Does somebody have a question? Okay. Um, they've posted the attendance link there. So if you have not filled it, please fill it on the chat box. Mm. So you create this dictionary font one equals to curly bracket, then first let's do family. So the family of the font. To the serif, comma, next the color. So some of the accepted thing are like I think black, comma, let's do size. Let's do 35. Let's just copy this. Now let's change the size to 25. PLT dot title. So you now put the font dictionary. That's what it is short for. Font dictionary argument that will be equals to, so we want font one equals to a font one. Then close this. Then for PLT dot X label. Let's just copy this and paste. Copy and paste this. Alright, Olivia. So can we see this? So the title has a bigger font. The velocity and the time, that's the label for the x and y axis, have a smaller font, but they all have the same font family. So this is the serif font family. Both of them have the same font family. Do you understand this? Let's go to the next one.
Yes.
This one is matplotlib grid line. So if you want to show the grid lines of the plot of the graph. So I'll do this one, then you can specify which axis you can put, maybe for only the x axis or only the y axis. So let me zoom this in. You can see this is the axis. So this one specified x axis here. So it's only showing the grid lines for x axis here. Then subplots. So I'll explain grid. I'll do a short simple example for grid. Then subplots, matplotlib subplot. So you can draw multiple plots using the subplot parenthesis function. you can it's so it accepts three values in the syntax. So the first value is the number of rows. Second value is the number of columns, and then the last value is the index. So that means is it the first subplot or the second subplot? So in this example, yeah, plot 1 2 1 means the figure has one row, two columns, and that is the first plot in the figure. So 1 2 2 will represent the second plot in the figure. So I'll do an example on this. Now let me try. Let's quickly do grid. So to do the grid, just simply put plt dot grid. See this? Can you see this grid? Can you see the grid lines? Let's share this. Sorry. Can you see these grid lines now?
Yes.
So I typed plt dot grid before I typed the plt dot show, because this plt dot show is to print the whatever I have plotted there. So I have to include the plt dot grid before I show it. So you can see the grid lines. Now let's specify which one. So you can say axis equals to y. So now it's showing only the y axis grid lines. So do you all understand this?
Yes.
So now I'm moving to subplots. So let's just let me I don't want to put too much code here. Let's just repeat this one. Let's use this one. So plt dot subplot. So now I said it accepts three values inside this parenthesis. The first one is to show the row. So let's say we want to have two rows, comma, then one column. Sorry, please mute yourself. I think I meant background noises on somebody's call.
Oh,
And so this is this set here, this whole set here that I've highlighted. This is the first plot that I want to do. That's why the subplot value, the third subplot value here is 1. So we have two rows, one column, and this is number one data. Let me just copy this. Control C. Next. Control V. Then for this one, we put plt dot subplot 2 comma 1 comma 2. So this shows that this one says that we have two rows, one column, but this is the number. This is the second plot. This is the second subplot in the figure. Let's remove this plt grid. Let me give a space so you can easily see the difference. So this is the first subplot. This is the second subplot. So now when I run this to give you this, can you see this?
yes.
No, but there's no line in the second one. Let me put this one as sorry, I didn't x1 x comma y. Let's put different ones here. I didn't put plots in this first one. Sorry. Plt dot plot x comma y. The line is intersecting. It's not supposed to. Um, it's a little bit rough here. So what I mean by two rows? So this is two rows and then one column because this is a row. This is a row. Sorry. This what I'm toggling through here with my cursor. This is a row and this is another row, but this is two. This is just one column. Okay, this one is after the Control X. Sorry, Control Z, Control Z, Control X space. Control. Do you get this? Because it's the same value, that's why it's identical. Because I use the same values, I just copy and paste this one. That's why it's the same value. So do we get this?
Yes.
So let's try
So
now. Yeah, let's
we
try
have
now.
to plot before writing the.
Yes,
Okay, write
no,
the
subplot
subplot
before
before
writing the plot.
the plots. Okay.
So now let's do one row, two columns. One row, two columns to appear like this. So this is one row and this is two columns. You can go as far as you can do three rows, three columns, but make sure that when you want to do three rows, three columns, how many number of these values, how many set of values do you have? That will be six. If you no, if you want to do three rows, three columns, that will be nine. Just multiply the number of columns and rows together. So that's I mean you have to repeat this nine times. You have to repeat this one nine times. That's so
Sorry, sir. Are you saying that the subplot, the
mm,
one represents the row, the two represents the column, then the last one, what does it represent?
index like this one here is the first subplot. So like here, this one here represents. So let me change the values so that you can I can explain that one to you so you can see it. Let's do this one as 10 comma 15 comma 14. So now this is number one here. So the first subplot, you can see that the graph is different. So that last value here is to specify the index. So which one? Is it the first one? Is it the second one? Is it the third one? That's why it's there. Do you understand that now? Hello, who dey house?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry, give me a minute. Hello. Your face now. Your face here. They do for face. No be here be number 12. That's the way they come. Sorry for the delay. So let's go back here. Do you all get that subplot explanation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so let's add titles to our subplot. So yeah, for this one, plt dot title title. Also, since we have two subplots, so you have two different plots here. If you want to name this whole like this whole figure here, this whole thing here, you have to use a special function like super titles. So you shorten it to plt dot sup title type. So you can see this now. First subplot, second subplot, then super title here. So do we get subplot? Do we get this basic plotting now, basic graph plot?
I guess to an extent for me.
For what part don't you understand? Maybe I can explain.
The part you were saying that we could have three rows, three columns,
Oh,
then we have to have nine
okay,
something.
subplot. Okay, let me try and do another. So for example, let's say we have another. Let's try and do another subplot here. Interesting. So this is 4. Now let's do that will make us do 2 rows, 2 columns. 2 rows, 2 columns. 2 rows, 2 columns. 2 rows, 2 columns. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Hmm. Let's support that. So now that I've run this, so this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This is 1, 2. This is 2 rows, two columns. That's four sets of subplots. That's four subplots. So if we were to do three rows, three rows, two columns, or two columns, um, or three columns, two rows, we have to do six values, because let's say there's another one here. If there was to be another one here, that will make it another one here and another one here. That will make it one, two, three columns. One, two, three columns, and just two rows. Do you understand? Do you understand now?
Okay. Yes, yes, I think I get it now. Thank you.
Yeah. So let's go back to the slides. I think that's all for subplot. So now math plot lib scatter plot. So to create a scatter plot, you use the scatter plot function plt dot scatter function. It plots one dot for each observation, and you need two arrays of the same length so that I can compare. For each dot, on the x-axis to be 5, and on the y-axis to be 7. The value will be 7. So you need two different arrays, but they have to be the same. They have to be of the same length. So they have to have the same amount of values. And you can also do multiple scatter plot diagrams on the same figure. Maybe you want to compare, for example, you scatter diagram for like number of the difference number of children that came to school today versus number of children that came to school tomorrow. So if you want to do it on the same graph, you have two different sets of scatter plots, two different sets of dots. Those dots. Do you all know what scatter plots? You all know what scatter plots are, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Python will automatically change it to two different colors. So let's do example of a scatter plot here. Or should to save time, let's try and use this one for scatter plot. So instead of PLT stop plot here, you put PLT scatter. No need for this to put X.
We cannot see your code though.
Oh yeah, sorry. So I'm using the same code you used to do subplot, but I deleted some of them so that you can save time. X comma Y. So here there was a subplot here. So you change that to scatter plot. Scatter. Then these values here, you don't need these normal values. You use the normal X comma Y. That's Moses. So yeah, the title PLT title here is only for one. So and the last PLT title, that's what to take precedence. So let's just put scatter plot. So you can see the plot, scatter diagram, scatter plot. You can see these dots here. So this blue one is for the first one, and the orange one is for the second one. You can also name them if you want. PLT title. Let's try. Oh, did I do plot at the same time? So because I did PLT plot and PLT scatter, that's why it has this line. But if I remove the PLT plot to just show the scatter diagram, those dots. But it might be confusing if you don't put the PLT, but that's why it has different colors. Different colors. That's where the coloring comes in. Do you understand this?
Yes.
Okay. So you can also change the color of these dots if you want. You can change the color of the dots if you want. In the scatter PLT dot scatter function here. After you specify x and y, put another comma. Now put the argument color equals to. At this point you can put whatever you want. Maybe k, or let's try r, and yeah, let's try comma color also y. So it's giving red and yellow. Red and yellow. So for each one, you can also specify the color for each dot if you want to. In order to do that, you have to create another array. Call that one my colors equals to np. But in this one, instead of writing numbers or anything, the values here will be the colors you want it to be. So at this point, you can use the X code, you can use the normal R, Y, or you can use the accepted names. So let's try green, comma. Let's check it. So you have to write the color amount of color you're going to write is going to be the same amount of value. So you have one, two, three, four values. So you have to write four different colors. Parentheses. Oh, sorry, I didn't put the parentheses here. Oh, I have to. Let's remove this second scatter. X, and I specified color red. No, let's go back. Control Z. I specified color red here. Let's remove color red. So every time you put two contradicting um arguments, the last one will take precedence. So that is the last one that will run. Okay, sorry. I've not set it here. Then color equals to my my colors. My colors. So are you seeing the different colors now? Green, purple, brown, and pink. Pink is somehow light. Maybe I should change it. Can you see it? Should I change or should I change the color?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. So let's move on to the next. You can also change the size by using arguments. Even sizes. So this one too, you create another array and you start putting values for the sizes that you want. So let's do then 30, 40. Oh my, okay. So my battery percent is running low. Let me just run this code and we'll continue another time. I think let me, okay, after this scatter diagram, it remained bar chart and pie chart. So I'll explain that in the next class as well as the um pandas.
Sorry, please. These colors
Yeah,
for this scatter plots,
yes.
must we like
Type them out.
signify for each? What if I want everything to be a particular color? Do I have to write green, green,
No,
green,
no,
or
no, no,
just
no.
green?
If you want it to be a particular color, just remove this.
Mm-hmm.
Remove this and make it, what do you want? Red.
Okay.
Ah, just do this.
Oh, all right.
See,
Thank you.
everything is red now. Now let me just quickly do the sizes before my battery dies. Then size equals to my sizes. Then run.
Has to be the
I
they don't
think
call
I'm
it.
mistake.
Is it the apostrophe or something? No.
I think yes. Sorry, S is not size. It's the S that is the key for sizes. S, just S, not sizes. The difference is not that much. Let me increase the size one. Let me increase the size one. 50, 100, 150, 200. Okay, now you can see the difference clearly now. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep. Yep.
We'll end the call now. My battery is about to die. Thank you
All
for
right. Thank you
listening.
so much for your time.
Okay, if there's anything you don't understand now, you can text. You can send it on the WhatsApp group. So thank you very much for listening. We'll continue on Wednesday. I think yes, Wednesday.
All
Thank
right,
you.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good time. Oh my days, bar.